You men do realize that women are choosing to stay single. They're choosing to be single than actually being single. Literally having a man right now is quite literally possibly the most embarrassing thing you could do right now. Like, it's kind of like an extracurricular activity or like a hobby you don't really want.
The thing that has discouraged me the most out of anything from marriage is the amount of married men that pursue me.
These men are stupid and they listen to other men, right? And they think that the older a woman gets, the more desperate she is.
Your ex finds out about it, right? The one that left you for the girl? Yes, he found out about it. So what does he do? Him and his girlfriend make an appointment with you because you're a travel lash tech. They make an appointment with you to set you up. But you don't know that because you're just living life innocently now at this point.
Wow. All's well that ends well. When men talk about how, like nobody is pressuring women to get married and, and things of that nature, or I'll bring up the fact that women are penalized for not being married, right? They're penalized for not being committed to a man, whatever. And then the men be like, how so? And then I start talking about how societally we pressure women into having babies. We pressure women into being married to men and giving their bodies to men and their labor to a man or whatever. And men really be trying to act like that's not a real thing. And I'm like, that's a fucking thing, man. That is like a thing of all things. That is so real. And there are other negatives to women not being with men socially, socioeconomically, and on other levels, but women are socially ostracized. They are for not having relationships with men, right? And then women that choose to stay away, men try to gaslight them and then be like, oh, it's not all men and it's just the men, and da. And then I'm like, have you listened to women talk about me? Have you listened to women's experiences with men? Like it is freaking nuts. But this is the way that, like, one of the ways that they try to like shame women, coerce women into being in relationships with men.
You men do realize that women are choosing to stay single. They're choosing to be single than actually being single. I have a lot of men on my TikTok comment and they're like, oh, where's your ring? Oh, where's your boyfriend? Oh, where's your husband? Y'all, I choose not to have one. It's not because men don't try to talk to me. It's not because men aren't in my DMs. It's not because men don't want to take me out. It's not because men don't want to marry me. I'm choosing. I'm choosing to be single and I'm choosing not to have a man because it's embarrassing. Literally having a man right now is quite literally possibly the most embarrassing thing you could do right now. Like, it's kind of like an extracurricular activity or like a hobby you don't really want. It's like, why? Why? And I think it's so funny how men are so quick to hop on this app like, well, you're not married. Why would I want to get married to someone who's going to cheat on me? Every single person that I know that is married, about to get married, or in a relationship is either getting cheated on or literally miserable, and misery loves company and they just stay together. Does not sound fun. Literally, you're not selling me on the product at all. I choose.
You know why men don't think women are choosing to be single? Because men aren't choosing to be single. And that's why I think it's hilarious when men try to flip it around and be like, yeah, now that men just taking time, stepping back, working on themselves, the women don't know how to deal with it. I'm like, bro, them women don't give a fuck about what you're doing. You're not choosing to step back and work on yourself. You're not working on yourself. You're still a whole piece of shit. Those women just don't like you. You're being rejected. And then when I tell men that women can have a boyfriend and a husband anytime they want, basically what she is saying, they don't believe it because they could never get a fucking date. So they're like, how can a woman have a husband when I can't even get a date? It's all projection.
Stay together. Does not sound fun. Literally, you're not selling me on the product at all. I choose to stay single because my expectations are not going nowhere, okay? My expectations are honestly still in the fucking gutter, to be honest. But I have self-worth and self-respect, so therefore I'm going to stay single because why would I just get a boyfriend because everyone's telling me to get a boyfriend and then have them treat me like shit and cheat on me?
That's what the men are hoping that when men say that, they hope that that's how women will react to that. They're hoping a woman will go like, oh, well, shit, I don't want to be shamed by these men. So let me go on and get a boyfriend so I can shut him up.
Treat me like shit and cheat on me. I'd rather just be single and do my own thing. But I just think it's hilarious how men like come on here and they're like, oh, well, you don't have a man. Yeah, I don't want one. I don't want you. I don't want one. Having a man is like having a child. I don't want to take care of anything. I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to listen to you just run your mouth about how you're going to do all these things for me and then don't.
Stop her when she's wrong. Stop her when she's wrong. Man, I know you hate to hear. Stop her when she's wrong. Where are all the men living up to the things that they told the woman that they were going to do? Where are they at?
I'm single because I want to be, not because men don't try to hit on me. And I want to make that very, very clear.
I mean, yeah, no woman has to convince me that she has suitors. I know every woman has a suitor or 2 or 3 or 4 or 500. No doubt about it. Now let's get into some examples of why women are remaining single, why they are choosing to be single. The woman in the first video was alluding to the fact that so many of the people she knows in relationships, women are being cheated on, have been cheated on, or just flat out miserable with that man, right? Okay, there's another single woman. Listen to what she's saying about relationships and why she also isn't interested in being in relationships.
So I couldn't sleep for a little bit last night because I was kind of tossing and turning with this thought. And I wanted to share with people, especially younger women, a little bit of my experiences that I've had with men as I get older, but I didn't really know where to start because it's kind of there's a lot to it, right? There's my lived experience, and then there's other people's lived experiences, and then there's trends that we're seeing, and and it can quickly turn into this rhetoric of man hating and bashing men and self-fulfilling prophecies kind of thing. But I wanted to kind of speak from this place of I am getting older woman. I'm in my 30s and I'm unmarried, and that's been my life forever. And I've been doing life alone. I've had long-term relationships with men, and I've had friendships with men, and dated men, but I have, for the most part, lived my life for myself, being responsible for myself. I mean, I haven't had a partnership. And that's not because I don't want one at all. And sometimes I get asked, why aren't you married? And I can kind of blow it off and be like, oh, just haven't met the right person. And that's not true. But it's not entirely true, right? I've had opportunities to where some of these long-term relationships, I probably could have turned them into a lifelong partnership. And I actively chose not to. And you kind of get into this question of well, why would you? And I know there's so much online right now that says things like, oh, women are happier without men, or, most marriages fail, And yeah, those things are all discouraging. But the thing that has discouraged me the most out of anything from marriage is the amount of married men that pursue me.
Boom. I want you guys to listen to what this woman is saying. Man, it is literally our actions that is driving women away. It's not women lying to other women. It's not any of that goofy shit. It is how men act and interact with women on the daily. That's what's driving women away.
Anything from marriage is the amount of married men that pursue me. And it is only gotten more so the older that I get. In fact, the older I get, the more it seems like I am a safe and comfortable space for married men to explore the idea of having an affair for their wives. And it's not something I entertain. It's not something that I would ever participate in. Actively goes against my morals and my faith. But it is something where I notice the longer that I am unmarried, the more it happens, where married men will actively try and pursue adultery with me. And I find it to be the number one thing contributing to my lack of enthusiasm towards marriage. And I want to get married. I do, but that is so discouraging to see. That's so discouraging to see. And it's not even, and a lot of the time, what I find so amazing about this is that these men aren't even hiding their wives at all. Like, not even remotely. Like, they will send me messages and their wives will be in the picture with them. They will see me, and I will have seen them with their families. Like, I've seen men in bars with wedding rings and, been like, oh no, sorry, I'm not interested. And then they will take off their wedding ring and come back. And it really destroys your ability to hope that you can have a faithful relationship, a faithful marriage.
The reason why men are hitting on her more and more, like married men are doing that, I believe, is because these men are stupid and they listen to other men, right? And they think that the older a woman gets, the more desperate she is. That's essentially what it is. They lie to each other and they talk about single mothers. They probably assume she got kids because of her age. And they talk about how single mothers are desperate and single mothers are for a good time, not a long time and a fun time. And they'll put up with a lot of bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure there are a good amount of women who you can approach, even if you're married and they don't care. I'm sure there are, and that goes into it too. I don't want to glance over that. But the vast majority of women are not interested in dating a married man. We're not that appealing. I'm a married man. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that I'm like like some woman's dream outside of my wife. You know what I mean? Like my wife she tolerates me, So it's funny to think like you in the minds of these men, though, they think like they're the cat's meow, so to speak. Like what woman wouldn't want them, So that's why I think a lot of these men are approaching older women. I think that they just straight up and down think that the older women are more desperate. And just for good measure, we had to throw in a diabolical put your finger down story time just to put the nail in the coffin. When the men are like, but I just don't understand these women need da 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 da. Listen to the shit that women like. Just listen to the shit that women be going through. I'm not saying this story is common. I'm not saying this exact story is common, but just the fact that every woman has some crazy story with a man that has put them through hell, that in and of itself is a reason enough to stay away from men.
Put a finger down if you were in a 2-year relationship, and while you were in that relationship, you and that guy got an apartment together and y'all are just living lives. And one day on a Wednesday at 9:00 at night, he tells you, hey, I'm leaving. You're like, okay, where are you going? He's like, I'm leaving with the girl. I'm actually been dating this girl for 2 years and we have an apartment together and my name's in her apartment. Your mouth is wide open. You drop to your floor. You're crying. He left. He still don't care. You still crying on the floor. You get in the bathtub. You start crying in the bathtub. You heard a prayer. You heard this guy tell you about this prayer 2 weeks ago about how to let God into your life. You're like, you know what else do I have to lose at this point? You get in the bathtub, you start saying a prayer, you're like, God, I let you have my life, nothing but my life, I give you everything in my life. You say that prayer, you go to sleep, still crying. You wake up the next morning. Why did the guy that told you about the prayer text you, right? He texted you and he was like, hey, for some reason, I can't get you off my mind. I need you to come to my house. You go to his house, you're there for 2 months. You're at this man's house every day for 2 months. Y'all are great. Minding your business. No posting, no nothing. Your ex finds out about it, right? The one that left you for the girl. Yes, he found out about it. So what does he do? Him and his girlfriend make an appointment with you because you're a travel lash tech. They make an appointment with you to set you up. But you don't know that because you're just living life innocently now at this point. So you go to this appointment, you go to this apartment, but something tells you, your discernment, that you should call your man. So you call your man, you're like, hey, I have a weird feeling about this. Can you just stay on the phone with me? You're like, yeah. So you go up to the door. Wrong feeling. You turn around and leave. Who's at the door? Your ex with a gun pointed at your face. You turn another direction to walk another way. What do you see? His homeboy with a gun at your face. What? But don't forget, your new man is still on the phone. He's still waiting. He already left work. He's on the way to you. Don't worry. The new girlfriend, bashing your windshield in because why? I have no idea. You go up to the car. Y'all start fighting. That's another story. So they make you get in the car. Once y'all finish fighting, you drive all the way in the middle of nowhere. You're just driving. You're like, at this point, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna let you have it. You stop in the middle of the road. The ex gets out the car, steals your new phone, gets in the car that they're following you in, and they leave. Nothing happens. You let it go. You're like, God, why did you do this? Why? Like, you're angry at God. You're like, why did you do this to me? I was minding my business. Then 4 months later, you get another lash tech appointment, but this time it's at your apartment. At this point, you're like, okay, something's normal. Everything's normal. Nothing's gonna happen. This girl comes to your house. She asks, is your ex da-da-da? And you're like, oh my gosh, is this another setup? No, it's not. Her best friend was in the same situation that you were in. What happened? Her best friend's man shot him 3 times. Did he live? He did.
Wow. All's wells that ends well. Nah, but yeah, men are diabolical. I mean, the moral of the story is men are diabolical. And I completely understand why women aren't interested in dating us. I get why they don't want to marry us. I get why they don't want to be committed to us. Like, I completely understand. I completely understand. I'm not saying I'm not saying that every woman has the exact same story, but every woman has a story, and that's the point. Not every woman has the exact same story, though. We know that. But every woman having a story or multiple stories says a lot about men and the nature of men and how men can't be trusted, aren't to be trusted. And I want to defend men and I want to be able to stand up for men, but we don't have a leg to stand on. We need to change our behavior at the end of the day. That's just what it's going to come down to. So instead of us going out here and fighting it and gaslighting the women and being and doing everything but becoming better people, you know, instead of us doing that, we need to grow the fuck up. That's my suggestion. That's my 2 cents.